Oh, it's Fireside Chat.
Yeah, so if Christian wants to look it up, they'll show it in a couple hours on the YouTube channel if you want to look that up.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Sue. Welcome to Fireside Chat. Such a pleasure to be with you today. I am thrilled and honored to introduce Robert Jones from United American and from Globe Life to be with us today. We're going to talk a little bit about Medicare and some really amazing years and years of knowledge and experience that United American and Globe Life has contributed to the insurance space. So welcome, Robert, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So United American continues to be defined by these core values while continually adapting to meet our customers' needs. They are a wholly owned subsidiary of Globe Life Insurance, and they are registered and licensed in at least 49 states, and the New York affiliate Globe Life Insurance Company of New York serves independent agents and brokers offering individual and group insurance products underwritten to provide coverage for life insurance and for supplemental health coverage. So the great thing is they can help with more than one thing, and they have some amazing products such as the cancer product that we can talk about. And I don't think anybody else offers what Globe Life and United American offers. So if you want to let us know kind of how you came to be with them with this great company
I
and
I
yeah.
will. I actually started about 35 years ago,
Oh my God.
in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Of all places, I lived in Albuquerque, and I was just through say, you know, get this, I'll give it a try. And as soon as I went out in the field and it was with seniors and helping seniors, I thought, I love doing this. Like you're really helping people and giving them a lot of knowledge. And then I moved to North Carolina where the number one branch, it used to be branch system, and the number one branch was in North Carolina. That's where everything kind of took off. I was with the top producers in the company. They taught me a lot of stuff. You're like, this is how this works, this works. And then I finally moved to Louisiana, where I am now. But I've had my own agency here, so I've taught agents at that level. I've been a
Oh,
financial advisor, so I got to do a lot of the investment part of it too. And all the time I was appointed with United American, so I used their products. So it's been a long, long time.
it really
And
has. And
yeah,
that's
like
lovely because they've also evolved as a company. Um, this is, I mean, it's like, is it like 100 years? It's some
yeah,
unbelievably
1947 is when we
19,
started. And
isn't
we
it?
actually wrote the first Medicare supplement ever in 1966.
So
So
you were the
in
very
six,
first.
very first, in 65, we were one of four companies that helped the government design Medicare supplements. We wrote the
Oh,
first one in 66.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's really
remarkable.
That's unbelievable. And
Yes.
so look at the number of Medicare supplement enrollees since then. Look how many people you've helped to maintain their good health and to seek help if they need it. Because, like, gosh, doesn't healthcare become so much even more important, like
Yeah.
as we get older? Like, oh my goodness, right?
And I can tell you the senior market has changed a tremendous amount. Like 20 years ago, I probably wouldn't have been able to do an iGo app. I wouldn't have been able to do training online. None of that stuff. Like it wasn't even standard back then. If you look at the Medicare supplement, what you get, you see the different plans. Well,
Yes.
I was in the field in 92, before it was even standardized. So there was a million different plans and no one knew what they were. So seniors were lost. I'd go to a client's house and they say, yeah, I got this and it covers all this. And then I'd read the policy and be like, it doesn't cover anything you just said. So someone just told you a story. Oh, it was crazy. We called the Wild Wild West because it really was. It was just a
It
wild time.
really is. Yeah, and
And
it's
then
hard
the
because
government finally said, let's standardize these. And that's what made the senior market so much better and smarter because now they knew everybody has the same plans and they started learning about the plan. So now
right,
when I talk to people, it's so much easier,
it is.
even clients, because they understand now it's not right. And everybody's online, everybody's doing the Zoom stuff. And it's amazing to me how good seniors are now. Like it's just, my mom's like 86 and she's on
Oh,
Facebook.
God
86.
bless her.
Like it's just crazy. And she doesn't always say the right things, and I got to tell her once in a while, Mom, that probably wasn't the right thing to say. But at 86, but
I do.
it's just
Like, could you just not say that to the waiter next time, please? Okay.
exactly, yeah. Just stop while you're at. Like, I'm glad you're on there, but let's not make comments on everything.
Oh my God. It's so funny because you and we both have children that
Yes.
would tell us right away, like, Dad,
Oh,
like,
right away.
no,
Yes. Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
we get the faces and so we'd stop immediately because we don't want to embarrass our children, but like, holy man, to keep us, they
Oh,
keep
and
us
we think it's
like,
normal, right? We think what we said was fine, but they're looking at it like, no, it really wasn't. It's like, well, it seemed to be when I said it, but and I
yeah,
think that's
my
probably
God.
how my mom feels, right? She probably thinks, no, what I said was okay. It's like, no, probably not. But the same thing, right? The different generations and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But I'm
another thing
glad.
United American did years ago is after the standardization, there wasn't automatic claim filing. So we actually own that trademark, automatic claim filing. We own it because we invented it. So way back again, I was in the field. I've been in the field for many
Been in
years.
the field a long time,
Yeah.
Rob.
So back when, if you went to a doctor, you had to wait to get the explanation of benefits, the EOB
Oh,
from Medicare. When they sent it to you, you put your policy number at the top, and then you mailed it into the insurance company. That's how you
oh,
got your claim paid.
oh.
And we
So you
came
didn't
out,
even know if it was
no.
going to be.
Exactly. And you know what happens is a lot of seniors look at them $5 and $10 claims and think, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not mailing that in. And it never gets filed. That's why companies never did it because they're making millions of dollars off claims that are never sent in. So when United American did this, we knew
Oh,
we were losing millions right off the bat because there's so many claims that are never filed. So I remember going to a client and she had a check for a penny. I guess we had sent her a check for a penny. And I said, Can I have that? And she let me have it. And I kept it and showed everybody. Even if it's a penny, we're going to send it to you
I'm
because it's
so
automatic claim. We're hooked up to Medicare's computer. So you don't have to do anything. You go to the doctor, we get the information, we pay your claim. And
oh,
all the companies followed us right into they had to,
oh.
right? They had to
Yes,
follow it. They couldn't, yeah, they couldn't have survived with no automatic claim. Not once we had it.
so, and I love that you made that up. Like, just because it didn't exist doesn't mean you can't put that into practice. I
Yes.
love, I love that because you're doing the right thing, Rob. You're doing the right.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Yes.
it's funny that I've been around that long though, because I tell agents, they're like, that really happened. I was like, believe me, I was in the field when it happened, so I kind of remember it.
No, like, but you're such a good
Exactly.
trainer because you know what it was like for you and people around you at that time to go through to get a sale, to get, you know, like a claim like
Yes.
resolved. It
Oh
was
yeah.
so much hard. You can't just pick up the phone, right? And like the things that we can do or we can call in on their behalf or whatever it is.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, like and
I,
everything
I'd
is
go to
spelled out.
I'd go to clients' houses, and in their drawer would be like 8 different claims, and they never sent them in. I'm like, what are you doing? It's money.
Wow.
They'd be like, yeah, but it's only $5. It's only seven. It's not worth sending it in. I'd be like, yeah, but it's adding up. Look at all the ones you have. But that
Yeah,
companies knew that, right? Companies knew that there was so many claims never filed, and that's money for them. That's money, and it was just amazing. When we did it, everybody was like, okay, we're going to lose this much because they knew, but I knew it was going to be good down the road, right? Especially when we
yeah.
were the only company that had it. All of a sudden, you could go to a client and say, Your claim's done automatically." What do you mean? Well, as soon as you go to the doctor, it's paid. Okay, they love that, right?
They
Seniors love
probably
that.
couldn't believe it.
No, no, because they'd never heard of it. It's like the first
No.
time they'd ever seen it.
And I guess too for the doctors as well. The doctors would love to work with your company because like you're actually taking care of the people that you are signed
Yes.
up. You know, you're actually taking care of them. You're not just like, yeah, we'll take care of you, but when it comes down to it, we're not going to pay your claim. Like that's not taking care.
Yeah. Can you imagine, just like you said, can you imagine how many doctors' offices and hospitals loved us after that?
I
Right?
can make
My clients used to go to the doctors and say, you like the United American? Oh, we love them. Right? Because they're getting checks directly paid to them. And it works like it's automatic for them. They don't have to do anything.
right. And they're not afraid to go to the doctor.
No, no. And doctors love getting paid fast, right? So it was a good combination for them. It was like, okay,
They
this will
probably
work.
they waited like 18 years to get paid. So poor things, right?
Yes,
To become
yes.
a doctor. I'm really excited about your cancer plan. Can you tell us a little bit about that one? That's awesome.
Yeah, so we just got it on the iGo app for the agent, so they can do it electronically now.
Very
So
good.
the cancer policy to me is the most important policy that we offer. It just is. I have two sisters that survived cancer, a father that died of cancer, so I know how important it is.
Oh,
And the fact our policy pays cash, so it's 10, 20, 30, 40, or $50,000 cash, lump sum, first diagnosis. Right? There's only three health questions. Have you ever had cancer? Has a doctor told you to take a test to see if you had cancer, but you never did it in the last 2 years? Or do you have AIDS or HIV? That's it. There's no
great question.
tobacco question, no family history question, none of that. So it's an easy policy to write. And when I think of cancer, or 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women will deal with cancer in their life. Right? And that's just the number. And they go up every year. Every time I go to Florida, which I'm going next week to do live seminars, every time we go, the numbers go up and up and up and up. Yeah,
No.
the last article I read, heart disease is the number one killer, right? And then cancer is number two.
Wow.
The last article I read said within 5 years, cancer will take over heart disease.
Oh, heart
It's
disease.
remarkable. Yeah, just so when I think of cancer, like if I was to talk to a client, the first thing I would ask them is, talking to you, I'd say, hey, have you put money away to deal with cancer? Because 1 in 2 men, 1 in 3 women, right?
I would
And
say
most
no, I
people
never
have
thought of it. I just hope I
exactly.
don't get it. Yeah.
And I would say, well, I'll tell you what. And
Mhm.
sometimes I joke around a little bit, just be a little more lighthearted. And I would
Yeah,
say, I'll
yeah.
tell you what, pay me $30 a month, and I'll guarantee you never get cancer. You're gonna
Wow.
look at me like I'm crazy, right? Because I can't do that.
Yeah. Like,
And
how can I do that?
well, I'll tell you what, if I'm wrong, I'll give you the $30,000 you don't have put away.
Oh my
So the
God.
worst case scenario is you're paying $30 a month and you never deal with cancer, and hallelujah, we'll celebrate. But if you ever do deal with cancer, I'll be at your doorstep with a check for $30,000. And to me, money gives you options, right? I've been trying to teach my 25-year-old that since he was
Is
born.
he listening?
Not
Because
yet. I think a little bit now, but it took a long time. But like having money gives you options. So if they come up with that new and improved medicine, guess what? Even if your insurance doesn't cover it, you've got this money to buy it to save your life.
right.
What about that clinic you can save your life at, but your insurance
Yes,
doesn't
but you
cover
can't
it?
go. Yeah.
Uses money to do it. And that's the whole, when I talk to people about cancer, that's what I'm talking about. Because I remember my sister saying to me at one point, I just want to live. And that always stayed with me because I thought, when somebody's dealing with cancer, there's nothing more important than just survival. That's all they want. You think premiums mean anything? No, nothing means anything. It's just about living. So
Yeah.
what gives us better options than money? There isn't any.
There isn't any because you can't always fix like the problems that are causing the cancer, or like you can't always I guess like influence that, right?
Yeah, yes.
It's what is in your body,
It
and we
is
get
what,
all that.
yes. And
But like,
people, and I would talk to an agent the other day that had actually dealt with cancer herself, and she gave me a whole different line of thought. And she was like, what I did is I quit my job right away, and I went home and I tried to make decisions because I knew my life was going to change. And
wow.
she said I couldn't have done that without the dollar amount that I was getting in my cancer plan. And I was like,
Oh,
that's a different way to look at it. She didn't have to go to work early or nothing like that. She could take her time and make the best decisions for her because she could afford to do that. When you look at family and friends and clients, people we know,
mhm.
everybody needs a cancer plan. And I always tell agents, the easiest way to sell one is to show them the one you own.
Yeah.
It really is. You show them the one you own, and that's the easiest way to sell a cancer plan. Because the reality is that everybody needs one. I don't care what age you are. It only goes up to 69. But if you can get one, even younger, that's even better because it's not real expensive, right? You're
No.
linking it in forever. And to me, the cancer plan is just so important for people to have that option, have that money available, right? Like I said, maybe they want to take a trip, and you don't have to be like this money is not sent to a doctor, it's not sent to it's
No.
your it's a check that you cash,
That's
right?
amazing. You
Yeah. You don't have
literally,
to pass away because of it. It might be something that you survive, like my sister survived. Both of them did. So you can use that money for anything you want.
isn't that
It's
amazing?
just up to you. But again, it's about that survival thing. It's
What's
just
the minimum age that I could sell that to? What's the minimum age? Like, would they
so
have?
it goes
Oh,
from 0 to 69.
oh my God! So you can buy it on a baby.
Yeah, you can buy it on kids. Yep. And if
Wow.
kids are on well, they got the family plan, which is actually the best way to sell it. And children can keep it till they're 26, and then they have to get off. Then they get their own, right? So
Then
that's a
they
big
can get
one.
their own, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least you've kind of like it's like you're like saying I'm gonna bet you. that I'm not going to get cancer. And it's like the other side is, I bet you are going to get cancer. And
Well,
so,
that's
like, either way,
well,
right?
that's insurance, right? I mean, everybody always
Yeah,
thinks, what if
it's
I
like a
pay on it
bet.
and I need to deal with it? It's like, well, hallelujah, you never dealt with it. Wouldn't you love to have, when I used to talk to my clients, they always would worry about stuff, right? They're seniors, so I
Yeah,
tell
they
them
worry. Yeah, they
and
worry.
because I had such good relationships, I'd say, what keeps you up at night? What's on your mind? And I'd say, the best thing to deal with something that keeps you up and anxiety and all that stuff that's in your life, the best way to deal with that is just plan for it, right? If we have anxiety because we're taking a trip, how do we deal with that? We just plan for it.
You're right.
If we plan for it, the anxiety goes away. So I
Yeah.
always tell my clients, yeah, instead of dealing with this and having anxiety about it, let's just plan for it. Maybe we do 20,000 critical illness, maybe 30,000 cancer. We have it on the side. If you ever deal with heart disease or cancer, any of these things, we've got money put away so you don't have to worry about it. We've already planned for it. Right? Doesn't it make it simple when you just talk to people like that? Because they get it.
Yes. Yeah.
You
And it's
just
funny, I
plan.
think like new agents, right? Like it's really important that they sit down and listen to someone who's a seasoned agent because you might be unnecessarily complicating things in your own
Exactly.
learning the delivery and all that. And
Yeah.
yet someone like you could say one sentence and that will stay with that person for the next week. And they'll be like, yeah, you know what? It's bothering me. He's right.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're exactly right. And I try to teach that on the webinars I do. I try to make sure agents understand, remember the old thing, you close 4 times and you do like that's gone to me. I don't think you close that way. I think if you present something properly
Yeah.
and make somebody understand why,
Yeah.
then there is no close. It's only now about what do you think, what kind of premium could you afford,
Right.
right, in your budget. And that's really what it boils down to. Even with the cancer, I used to talk to my clients and just say, look, this is affecting a lot of my clients, right? Financially. This is the bad thing. So I want to meet with you and I want to see, what type of premium you can afford because we need to get you some coverage. And they'd say, okay, right. I'm not trying to sell them. I'm trying to protect them. That's our job, right? Protect
Yeah.
them.
I like your angle because they really feel like you're on their side because usually they would be alone up at night worrying about cancer
Yes,
and it makes them feel like, oh, I have somebody who's very knowledgeable, who's in my corner and who
exactly.
actually experienced cancer affecting his immediate family. And you know what? Like it's just you have it's like a connection that you can't pay for, you can't buy that. You've earned that connection.
Yes,
And
yeah,
I think
exactly.
that
That's a
that
great way
goes,
to put it. Yeah.
yeah, you've earned that. And it's sometimes people like, do you find like there's some people they can never talk about things and it's just like a dread subject?
Yes. Oh, well,
And
cancer is, right?
right? Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's kind of like
cancer is.
the most terrifying. And it's just like if you can get that person to just get it out of their worry, because we have a lot to worry about. One less thing to worry about because
Exactly. You think
yeah,
of the anxiety people have in society today, right? It's
yes.
always
I can
talked about
imagine.
stress and this. It's crazy. A lot of it we can prevent. Some of it, it's just there, right? It's just what we deal with every day. It's a little more hectic, a little faster than it ever was.
Yeah,
We had talked about Canada before in Toronto.
we
When I
did.
even go there to visit, the speed's like twice the speed I'm used to. Everybody is flying around, and it's like, slow down, everybody, relax a little bit.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
always shocked that there's more stress up there. There's got to be more stress in a
There's
big
got to
city like
be.
that. Like
Yeah, and like little
Chicago.
houses are like 1.2 million. So
Oh, crazy
enjoy
stuff.
where
Yeah,
you are.
yeah.
Little houses
Little
like,
tiny.
oh my God,
Yeah.
because it's Toronto. I don't
My
know, but
nephew bought a townhouse that I went to visit in, and it's like 3 stories, but one little tiny floor. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And when I left, my sister said, he paid like $900,000 for that. Holy cow.
Aren't you
I,
shocked?
like here, it might be 150, maybe, but it's not going to be 900. And now it's already up to 1.2 billion or million or something like crazy. I'm like, all right. It's just, I don't know how they do it. I really don't.
There's no backyard. There's no front yard. There's like,
No, never
you
a
know,
yard. No, you forget that.
never
It's
a
not,
yard. No.
no, never. Even my
Oh
brother
my
had a nice house
God.
and his yard was this tiny little thing. And I'm like, I guess this is what you get. And it was a really nice house, but
Incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
different
because I
places.
think you visited Montreal and you're familiar with Toronto, so it's great because like there's people in Canada too that they might want to look into, hey, does my company offer a
Yeah,
critical illness? Does my company offer? Because it's just good to check into it. But
yeah, yeah, and it's not as much as people think.
yeah,
It really is.
surprising.
And talking about Medicare, like let me just bring up Medicare for a minute
Yeah,
because I
sure.
just wanted to make sure people understand. So there's a few things you want to do when you're eligible. So at 65, for example, say you're 65, you're still working, uh,
Hmm.
but you're wondering, what do I have to do at 65? Well, the first thing you need to do is enroll in Medicare Part A at 65. Doesn't cost you anything. You go
Yeah.
on to the Social Security website and you just enroll. But here's the question everybody needs to know. When
Mm.
you're still working, you need to know how many employees are in that company.
Oh,
Here's the secret. If it's less than 20, you actually have to enroll in Part A and B because that's
oh,
going to be your primary. If your group coverage is less than 20 employees, you have to have A and B, and that's your primary Medicare.
wow.
Your secondary is going to be your group. Now,
Right.
if it's more than 20, which most companies are,
Yeah.
then all you do is enroll in Part A
Hmm.
and you keep the Part A and you just keep your work. Your work's going to be your primary, and
Okay.
the Part A will be your secondary. And then when you finally do retire, that's when you'll activate Part B, right?
Mm.
That's when you get the guaranteed issue and all that stuff. And that's
Right.
when the agent can help you with different forms and make sure you get on to Medicare. But
Right.
when you're 65, again, if you got less than 20 employees, you need to get A and B. This is just something that's exploded in the last couple of years. And what's happened is group coverages have looked at it and thought, we could save a lot of money here, right? If these little companies have less than 20 employees, we don't need to pay that claim.
Wow.
Right? I had a friend I helped that got that letter that said you owe this much because Medicare would have paid it. And she called me and said, what in the world? And I was like, oh boy, I forgot the question. I forgot to ask her. And I said, is there more than 20 employees? She's like, no. And I was like, okay, so you need Part B too. She didn't get
Wow.
the penalty, she was fine, but companies are getting, they know now. They know that they
We
can make
know
all this
now. Oh,
money.
that's crazy. I know it's, but we want to do the right thing for our clients. So
Yes.
it's good that we can say, hey, listen, just check, just
Yeah.
see, because it makes a big difference in do they pay or not, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
And
Because
then
yeah,
they
I
just
would have
keep,
not known. She went to Florida vacationing and went to an urgent care. She got sick, and that's where the bill came from. Had she
oh
not done
no.
that, I would not have known. She would have just kept A, and then eventually, she would have probably got a bill from somebody, but she got
Yeah.
it fixed and all that. So it's important to know when you're 65, don't panic. Get your Part A. If you're already on Social Security, Medicare Part A is given to you automatically. You don't have to do anything. You're automatically on. But if you're not, then you just sign up. You go right online. It takes you 10 minutes, you're done. Get your
Awesome.
Part A and then go back. Yeah. And then that's when agents like yourself can step in later and say, okay, now we're going to get your B and now we're going to activate a supplement or whatever it is that works for you. And
Yeah.
we're going to go down that road. But
Right. Yeah. So at least, but they're in a good position then because if they've been with their company and the employers helped them all this time, then they also would have had creditable coverage for Part
exactly.
B.
Yep.
So we're just helping them kind of, with these guideposts, like, okay, if you do this and this, then you'll be fine. There won't be any penalty and that kind of thing, because some people can get really scared because they're like, what is this penalty that, you
Yes. Yes.
know, we don't want anyone to have to pay
Well,
if they don't
yeah,
have to.
a lot of clients don't realize that
Mhm.
there's penalties, right? They think, oh, I don't want to pay for Medicare. I'm just not going to do it for a year. Well, it's a 10% penalty every year you don't do it, and a 1% a month for the Part D for the prescription part. So you better do it when you're eligible to do it, and you can't. And there's a form, the L564 form, is
Uh-huh.
what they take to their employer. So say they're 68 now, and they say, okay, I'm finally going to retire. They'll take that L564 form to the employer and they fill it out for them. And that's what you just talked about, the credible coverage. That shows them Social Security that they had credible coverage. So they don't have, any penalties at all. It's just that one form, right?
That
And then
one
they'll have the
form.
other form. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because I guess it.
like I said, seniors are learning so much more. I talk to them now, and they know so much more than they ever did. They really do. I think the internet and just all the information that's available for phones
Right,
and everything else.
right.
I don't talk to many people now that don't know a lot about Medicare, and at least the supplements. Sometimes
Yeah.
they don't know what to do or which one to pick or what direction do I go in. It's confusing for them. That's why there's agents, right? To help them out.
That's right. You
Why,
know what, too? Do you feel that like with the Florida, like do you think people in Florida, is there kind of like a sort of like a gradual adoption of Medicare Advantage, or do you think people like the flexibility in a sense of Medicare supplement? Do you have a feeling about people in Florida, just that you kind of come across? Do you think that,
most of the time, even when I train, that question comes up a lot. And
yeah,
when I do live seminars like next week, if I ask the whole group, and I've done it many times, who sells Medicare Advantage, everybody's hand goes up.
right,
Because there's certain times that Medicare Advantage makes sense. If I've got somebody under 65 on disability, Medicare Advantage is perfect. If I've got somebody on Medicaid, you get that dual coverage through Medicare Advantage, that's a good plan for them. But
right.
if somebody can afford a Medicare supplement, what it gives them is freedom. They can go to any doctor,
So,
any hospital, anywhere in the country, right? As long as they accept Medicare, they can go anywhere. They're not limited.
yeah,
Medicare Advantage is only a 1 year contract. That scares me. A Medicare supplement is guaranteed renewable for life. So
wow.
once you have a supplement, it can never be taken from you.
No,
Advantage plans all over the country, I just talked to an agent earlier, are canceling, right? They're all getting these letters, disenrollment letters from their Medicare Advantage. If they're not making money in a certain zip code, they can just close down and leave because it's only an annual contract.
that is crazy, isn't it?
Yes. Now, luckily, seniors can go to a supplement guaranteed issue. Luckily, if they do it in time, right? They only have so much time to do that. And then
Yeah,
that guaranteed issue voids and then they can't do it anymore. So it's just if somebody can afford a supplement, it's that freedom and that guaranteed renewability. That's the most important, right? They
yeah,
get to go to any doctor they want. They get to go to any hospital. They don't need referrals for stuff, right? They can just have the freedom. And then to me, that's the most important, especially for seniors. They don't want to change all the time. They want to get coverage that is secure and they want to hang on to it, right? That's what we
yeah.
want to do.
Yeah, because doctors can leave a plan and then you're like, oh my God, I'm
There
gonna have
goes
to.
my doctor that I've had for 10 years, yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, and they
Yes.
know that person so well, and they're like they got to know all their specialists that they like to send them to, and yeah, so it's crazy. I think it's going to be a real busy season ahead here, but
Oh,
I'm
AEP is
glad
going to
that,
be, yeah, it's going
yeah,
to be
I'm glad
crazy
that
this year.
you're providing this amazing getting together in person.
Yeah.
And I'd like to invite you if you'd ever like to come and talk with me again, and we could talk about something specific, or if there's something you guys would like to launch, you are always welcome. It
Would love
is
to. Yeah, we've got many other products to talk about and just changes.
Yay!
And AEP is coming up. So
Yeah,
everybody's getting ready
absolutely.
for that. We've
Please
got
let
over
me know.
600 agents already signed up for training next week.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
they're
that's just
ready
the
to
people
go.
that can make it to Florida and stuff. That's the people. So not counting the people I can't.
Oh no, that people usually live there. Yeah, that's because we do 5 locations in Florida. We just go around Florida. So
For 1 week. Oh my
yeah.
God. Yeah.
And
So
everybody says to me, "Oh, that must be so much fun." I said, "Have you ever booked into 5 hotel rooms in 5 days? It's not the funnest thing in the world. The training's
yeah,
the easy part.
that's a lot.
The
That's
hard
really
part
a
is
lot. So,
traveling and booking and unbooking, all that crazy stuff.
and you're
But
worried about
agents
like
love it.
leaving a charger behind on like hotel number 3.
Oh yes. And by the fifth one, you don't even know what floor you're on anymore. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, I
ready
know. Not sure.
now. That's
But
like,
love to talk again. Thanks so much for being with me today, Rob. What a
well,
pleasure.
thank you for your
Thank
time.
you, sir.
All
Thank you. Take care. All right.
right, have a great weekend. Be safe.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks for watching.